is question orale. The honourable member for Regina Capel.
8 years of Liberal waste and corruption have driven inflation to record highs, and nowhere is this more obvious than in housing costs. In fact, after 8 years of Liberal deficits driving up inflation, the average renter now pays over $2,000 a month in rent. Now, to a wealthy Prime Minister who brags about his vast family fortune, that might not seem like a lot of money. Maybe that's why he signed off on a $7,000 a night hotel stay in London last fall. Why did the Prime Minister think it was okay to bill taxpayers for a single night's hotel bill what the average renter pays in 3 full months?
The Honourable Minister of Housing.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians have the right to ask themselves, why is it that every time real supports for renters comes to the floor of this House that the Conservatives vote against it? They voted against the Canada Housing Benefit that is delivering and investing an average of $2,500 to vulnerable renters across the country. They not only voted against the $500 one-time top-up to the Canada Housing Benefit, they played procedural games in this chamber to prevent real help to Canadian renters.
The honourable member for Regina Capel.
Mr. Speaker, this scandal stings taxpayers so much because it comes at a time when housing costs are taking more and more out of Canadian paychecks. After 8 years of Liberal deficits, interest rates have risen, meaning homeowners have to pay more to the bank in interest payments just to stay in their own home. In fact, after 8 years of this Liberal government, the average monthly mortgage cost has more than doubled, and the average $600,000 mortgage sees interest costs go from $12,000 a year to over $30,000 a year. So again, does the minister think it was a good idea for the Prime Minister to bill taxpayers for one night's hotel stay what homeowners pay in 2 full months on their mortgage?
The Honourable Minister.
Speaker, does the honourable member think it was smart to vote against real help for home buyers? The first-time home buyer incentive, $40,000 tax-free savings account for first-time home buyers, doubling the first-time home buyer tax credit, introducing a once-in-a-lifetime rent-to-own program, $200 million, supports for first-time home buyers in terms of increasing supply, banning foreigners from owning Canadian residential real estate. Does the honourable member really think those supports for Canadian home buyers were smart to vote against? Thank you.
Honourable member for Regina Capel.
It's always smart to vote against inflationary deficits that drive up the cost of living, Mr. Speaker. You know, the Liberals have learned the wrong lesson from this hotel bill scandal. You'd think that after billing taxpayers $6,000 a night for a single room, the lesson learned would be book a cheaper room next time. Instead, the lesson these Liberals have learned is cover it up better. Emails between the PM staff revealed government officials scheming to cover up the scandal. One even suggested bearing these costs in next year's public accounts. And the word finally came down from the minister herself to simply stop answering questions altogether. All this at a time when Canadians are paying more just to stay in their own home. Why is treating taxpayers' money with respect never the lesson these Liberals learned?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last fall, Canadians mourned the death of a monarch of 70 years. And we had a delegation led by our Governor General and our Prime Minister that was appropriate and was important for Canadians. It was absolutely essential that we attend that. And while this side of the House is focusing on us, we're focusing on them. We're focusing on their cost of living. We're focusing on their cost of housing. We're focused on their cost of childcare. And we will continue to be focusing on the Canadians what